Hey, we're back, and in episode 17, Brian, Andrew, and myself have got a brand new slate of things to discuss for you. Firstly, we lead off with Brian giving us an update on Elon Musk's SpaceX program, followed up with us discussing the announcement of Boomerang's streaming service app. We go over the classic cartoons available, the pricing, and our thoughts on the service. Next, Brian brings forth a conversation of video game ratings, specifically for Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda Breath of the Wild. And then, Brian quickly reviews Horizon Zero Dawn, having recently finished the game to 100% completion. After that, in another update from a previously discussed topic, we finally get to talk about which actor was selected to play Cable in Deadpool 2. And now we get into all the trailers that have been released since our last episode dropped. Firstly, Spiderman Homecoming. We discuss how awesome the second official trailer was, which naturally leads to a discussion of Spider-Men past. And then we give our thoughts on Sony's plan to release a Venom film. After that, we get into the Thor Ragnarok trailer, which, if you haven't seen this yet, is awesome. We talk about the Vibe, Gila, and Planet Hulk. To finish our episode, we then get into the Star Wars Battlefront 2 trailer, and then the Star Wars The Last Jedi teaser. These are also incredible if you've not already seen them. And finally, as always, we wrap the episode by asking the all-important question of who would win, as we pit Hal Jordan Green Lantern versus Cable. This one is a real doozy, and certainly not safe for work, so pop in some headphones for sure. Enjoy.
Oh, we can just roll right in, like right now, because it's
just
on.
Dry dock right in.
Yeah, just didn't even spit on it. We just slid right in there.
Yeah, very ungentlemanlike.
Oh no, it was gentlemanlike.
Was it?
We're gentlemen, so everything we do is gentlemanlike.
I don't know about you, but I'm a gentleman.
You sure are.
Thanks, dude.
I'm a mental gen.
Ooh, that is also true.
Well, I'm Robert.
I am Brian.
I'm Andrew,
and we're back.
Yes.
And Jordan is lost.
Hiatus. He's either in Ragnarok or he's
under some rubble.
He's in the stasis pod with Finn.
He's got his hands full. Let's put it that way.
He's under some rubble in Asgard. Rubble.
Rubble.
Not unlike Barney Rubble.
Better, stronger. Malkovich, really?
So we're back.
Yeah, we're back. A little hiatus, but
we got some little shits and giggles to get through,
and some not so little shits,
and not some little shits,
some medium sized shits as well.
Like some Taco Bell shits, or just like
oof. No,
I mean,
I don't think there's anything as big as the Taco Bell.
Okay,
but maybe Taco Bell shits, but definitely not Papa John's shits. Jesus Christ. Because
fucking Papa
good
John's.
Lord,
please sponsor us.
The grease. It's the grease.
It'll pour out of you.
Okay.
It's
so
now
that we've lost half of our audience.
Diarrhea. Yeah, all the staunch Papa John supporters.
What was your favorite shit of the last week, Andrew?
Oh God, I have not really had good poops this week.
Oh my God.
Chick-fil-A. I had a spicy chicken sandwich, and I nearly died.
You're not still eating Chipotle.
I am still eating
after all the fucking. God, what the hell was it? It wasn't salmonella. It was
Ebola.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Ebola.
E. coli. Start with an E.
It was Ebola.
You're close. Anyway,
a boy can dream.
Okay, let's. Wow, we're really missing Jordan here.
Yeah. Guys,
Jordan, we're missing you.
Stay on track.
Let's all try to combine our mental energies together to get Jordan in the room. I don't think
nothing.
It's not happening. This isn't Halloween.
It was the magic of the day, you know.
It was. And
it was the magic.
The salt pentagram.
We didn't actually record on Halloween though.
They don't know that.
Brian, shut up, dude.
But you had pictures of where you were on Halloween all over your Facebook. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, the podcast was fun while it lasted, but now the magic's gone.
Well, I'm just glad
that's a wrap.
I'm the one that destroyed it.
And I'm Robert.
Brian, the destroyer of worlds. Speaking of worlds...
Right. We want to get off of this one. How can we do that, Brian?
Well, you have to click your heels 3 times. So this is just a quick update to a story that actually just, I guess, a couple episodes ago, talking about SpaceX. the private space exploration firm headed up by Elon Musk. Just another big step that they took was they actually reused one of the rockets that they had previously used to actually do things, not just to launch it up and back and land it just to make sure it can land. It was actually used in a mission to launch cargo up to the International Space Station. So they've now proved that not only can these things land, they can actually be used and reused and used again.
Wow.
So that is going to cut down on the cost of space travel so much.
Yeah.
The other thing is that a story that came out just a little bit before that mission was that SpaceX does have plans in 2018 to send people around the moon. They're going to be it's technically going to be a manned mission
next year.
Yeah,
holy
but
shit.
the people will have. They will not be doing anything other than being in there and going like, dude, we're going around the moon.
But whatever.
Yeah,
Ballpark, how much that's going to cost?
They didn't say how much it costs for the person to be in there.
Yeah.
I think the rumors were like they'd probably each given $100,000.
All the money.
That's
on
it?
Earth.
That's it.
Wow.
But that's rumored. That's not known. But
is Lance Bass going to be up there? Because I know he was really trying to get into space for a while.
So
no, but it's going to be May.
So there are going to be two people in the capsule that goes around the moon, and that's awesome. So, and that's just another step towards eventually getting back to the moon. So
yeah,
very cool.
That's
very
pretty
cool.
awesome. I wonder what they're going to see on the dark side of it.
Nothing.
When they go around it.
I mean, unless they have a spotlight, I guess.
But would light travel?
Yes, light travels in space.
No, but I mean, you'd have to have a really strong fucking spotlight.
Well,
to
I
get
mean, you've seen the infomercials for those really bright.
Oh, the ones that'll the tack light.
The tack lights, yes.
That'll stun an intruder because of its strobing power.
Yeah,
and blast the hole in the moon.
Yeah, they'll try and spell out Chairface and just get the CHA. You're welcome, everyone. All right. I'm out.
All right.
So that was the SpaceX update.
Yeah.
And then Brian left, and we never saw him again.
Hey, you got to go out on top.
So when you shoot the space shuttle up, it goes around the moon and comes back.
Yes.
Not unlike
what?
My jizz when I shoot it at the wall, and there's a little bit of splashback.
You shoot it at walls?
You don't?
I knew I was doing something wrong.
Fucking amateur hour over here? Jesus.
Bush League, Rob. That's Bush League.
Like a boomerang.
I was going to say, like when you tie a string to a quarter so you can get it back out of the vending machine.
Does it work?
I've never tried it, but I've seen a lot of cartoons.
You have to drill
I've seen a lot of Futurama where Bender does that.
You have to drill a hole in the quarter but it's got to weigh enough to count.
Let us know in the comments below if that actually works.
Tweet at us at PCS Headcannon. Let us know if you've ever drilled a hole in a quarter.
If so, how hard it was to string it, and then
we want free sodas.
Also, what did you get?
Yeah,
are you a Coke man?
Funyuns?
Or woman?
You're a heroin person?
Yeah.
Ooh.
One of
Did
those.
you get some of that Plan B out of the vending machine?
Like one of those
Boomerang.
Japanese used panties one.
They have those.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And beer. The beer one was cool.
Boomerang.
Yes, Boomerang is
Children's
a thing.
cartoons
From Australia.
Yeah.
Boomerang is starting up. It's an
Good day, mate. Put another shrimp on the barbie.
It's like one of the most famous Austrians of all time. Boomerang, the offshoot network of Cartoon Network,
that's what we're talking about.
Is launching a streaming service. I believe it has launched already.
I've heard of it before now, and
Yeah.
I don't know in what capacity, but I know I've heard Boomerang. I don't know if it was its own channel.
It is its own channel.
It is its own channel.
And
That's
this
how I
has
heard it.
launched
Okay.
as they consider it. Their corporate considers it complementary to its TV network.
We're not corporate stooges here, Rob.
No,
so
no.
I don't think we.
This is the byline that was in
guy.
their Variety article about their network. It's considered complementary to its TV network, so it's not. If you get both things, you'll have all of it.
HBO Now,
right?
That's cool.
The price for it is $4.99 a month, which is less than what I thought. I thought it was going to be $9.99, just like every other streaming service.
Right.
$4.99 a month, and you get everything. Or you could do $40 up front.
And when you're saying everything, that includes
it includes. So listed, I have the only place that you're going to get the entire Scooby-Doo library the only place you're going to get the entire Tom and Jerry library.
That's good.
And the only place you're going to get almost the entire Looney Tunes library. Because there's some things Looney Tunes it's never going to show again.
The incredibly racist ones.
Right. Exclusively available via this streaming service.
And then also Hanna-Barbera, right?
Hanna-Barbera, yeah, so it includes, among hundreds of cartoons otherwise.
And...
Courage the Cowardly Dog is on there.
This is what The
Jetsons is on there. Yogi Bear, Popeye, Magilla Gorilla, etc. The
Dexter's
Flintstones
Laboratory?
was not expressly mentioned.
Really?
But do we really need the Flintstones?
Yes.
Who's
If you have the
gonna sell-
Jetsons, you have to have the fucking Flintstones.
Who's going to sell Winston brand cigarettes to our children if not the Flintstones?
God, somebody has to do it.
Smoke.
Are you smoking
You
yet?
smoking yet?
So I was pretty excited about
Smoke.
it. I have not actually delved into it yet, but at some point I plan on at least checking it out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you do the $4.99 a month plan, you get a week free, and if you do the $40 for the year plan, you get a month free.
Oh, nice.
So, depending on what you want to get out of it, I would need time to actually go.
$40 for a whole year.
Yeah.
So you're technically getting like 2 months.
Yeah.
Free. That's cool.
So it's interesting.
Yeah. No, that's very cool.
Especially if they have like usually Courage the Cowardly
Courage the
Dog.
Cowardly Dog's on there. I saw like there was a list on their website.
Well, that was after. Was that after your time?
Yeah, it was definitely after.
It wasn't necessarily after. I was aware of it. Just I don't know. Just one of the things never really.
I would assume Dexter's Lab and Johnny Bravo and the classics, but I don't know. The Cartoon Network classics, I should say.
Right.
Omelette du fromage.
Right. But that was. I just wanted
Du fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
du Mirage. I just wanted to mention
Omelette du
it
Mirage.
because I think it's interesting, in the very least. And if anybody's interested in those cartoons, as I believe we all grew up on those classic ones, my mother was a huge fan of all of them.
Yeah.
So I watched them almost nonstop. And one of my uncles was the only person I knew that had the actual Boomerang network.
Nice.
Like paid for on his TV because he loved Scooby-Doo. And that was the only time I ever got to saw it was when I went to go visit him.
Well,
in
someone
Staten
has
Island.
to.
Yeah,
because God,
Scooby-Doo's cool.
I never liked Scooby Doo, but I watched it. It was one of
Really?
those kind of shows.
Yeah, I watched it too, and I didn't really like it that much, but it was on. And...
It was like,
Zoinks!
can we add the bongo sound effect like before we leave? Like, all right, we'll get out of here.
Tom and Jerry was one of my favorites.
Tom and Jerry was great.
Tom and Jerry I watched just as much as the Looney Tunes.
Okay,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, Looney Tunes also I spent tons of time with. So-
Real quick, have either of you read the new Scooby Doo, the
Comic book?
DC
No.
one, where
No.
Shaggy's a raging hipster douchebag?
No.
Okay.
No, but that seems like a solid update for the character.
Yeah, the laid-back stoner coward. He's now this self-righteous dickbag with a fucking twiddly mustache and Zelda the Kid. And Scrappy Doo is like a werewolf or some shit.
Yeah,
All right.
still all
Well,
makes sense.
the Tom and Jerry, you know what they're doing with them now?
They're talking.
They're putting them. They're making remaking movies with Tom and Jerry characters. Like the latest one is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with the Tom and Jerry characters. It's like why? And they've been evidently doing it for a while now. Like different movies with like Lord of the Rings and like with all the Tom and Jerry. It's like what the fuck? But that's something that's happening too.
I just want to watch Tom and Jerry for brutal, hardcore violence. I don't want a parody of anything.
And the occasional
is
you is or is you ain't my baby.
Classic.
Now you believe it. That scared the shit out of me when I was
do
little.
believe you're getting that mixed up with Itchy and Scratchy.
What? The hardcore violence?
Hardcore violence was Itchy and Scratchy.
No, they were pretty sadistic.
Have you ever seen Tom and Jerry?
They're
This shit was
absolutely.
fucked
I'm
up.
just saying, like when I think of the term hardcore, I think of like Itchy and Scratchy level violence. Like that's.
I'm just saying, like the way they would just like the fucking impact in Tom and Jerry when Tom would slam his face into it when he's like, "Oh, I'm going to dive in my old timey bathing suit," and then land on a rock, and all his teeth would shatter, and then he'd get eaten by a shark.
I mean, it's
And
not really
then-
hardcore.
That's pretty hardcore.
Okay. Well,
Getting your teeth smashed and then getting eaten by a shark successively is pretty hardcore.
his tongue and then all of his guts being out of his mouth, like almost like King Kong with the big one, you know.
Or Ermac,
Anyway.
his fatality in the new Mortal Kombat. That was the best one.
So anyway,
So,
Boomerang.
just wanted to update everybody. Boomerang.
Anyway,
That's awesome.
Very lighthearted.
there's a nice bookend. with,
hardcore violence.
you know, children's
Children's violence.
violence. Brutal mayhem. Oh, and didn't Tom try to kill himself once? Yeah. You ever see that one? He's sitting on the train tracks, and then Jerry eventually joins him on the train tracks to kill himself.
Okay.
For kids.
For kids.
For the kids.
Yeah. Kids also like video games.
They do.
So, a little bit of a rant that I gotta go on.
Welcome to Brian's Rant Corner.
Yeah, basically. So, 2 games came out at the end of February, beginning of March. One was Horizon Zero Dawn, the other was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Both have some similarities. They're both open world games, third person. You're using bladed weapons and bows and arrows and stuff. It's not like, not shooter of any sort. The similarities really kind of stop there. They're different art styles, they're different content, clearly different stories. But for some reason, the fans of each IP got really very rivalrous about it. I don't know if that's the right term, but
really,
yeah,
as the internet does.
Yes, as the internet is wont to do.
Yeah.
Wait, you're telling me the internet is getting riled up over stupid bullshit?
I don't believe it.
No, they don't do that.
So, unfortunately, I'm here to inform that the Zelda fanboys, the really hardcore ones, went way hard into the paint with their butt hurt.
Really?
So, Horizon Zero Dawn came out first, technically, and it got really good reviews. Mostly 8s, 9s. I know there was a 7.5 I saw. I'll talk about what I think about it in just a second, because I have finished it, 100%ed it, and anyway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You completed it?
Yeah.
Tweet us, Gerard.
Zelda, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and the Switch came out just a couple days later, and got 10s and 10s and 9.5s and 9s. And there's interestingly enough, there's a reviewer that I mentioned when I talked about No Man's Sky. His name is Jim Sterling. If you ever check him out at the Jimquisition, he's really funny, and he is completely brutally honest, and he says what he means what he says.
And we'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah.
Dude.
Join us.
We had fucking Jim Sterling on this show. That'd be fucking our greatest episode ever.
I just figured I'd plug it and say
he's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
but
fucking tweet at him. What's up, Jim?
What's up, Jim? Bitch.
So I didn't agree with Jim Sterling on his No Man's Sky when he first came out with that review.
Right.
And then eventually some of the things he said started to make sense in retrospect of how
everything happened.
The game wasn't all that finished and so forth. But his initial impressions, I still disagree with him on that. But his impressions on Zelda Breath of the Wild, even though I have not played the game, seeing what the clips I've seen and read what I've read about it, I think it's probably the most honest review. He called it out. So there is a system in Breath of the Wild called weapons durability. And this is in some other games like Dark Souls, and I don't know if Skyrim has it. No? Okay.
Well, there's a charge, but your weapons don't break.
Okay. Your weapons break all the fucking time in Zelda Breath of the Wild.
And you have to constantly collect new weapons.
So you're always collecting weapons. So that's the thing.
There's no shortage of weapons, is what I've heard.
There's no shortage of weapons. That's not the problem. Because I've seen how it's played. If you go to the Jimquisition,
I remember when you were telling me about this.
You watch
there is a huge issue here.
So you watch the video that he does where he talks about his review. And there's a clip where you're facing as Link, you're facing about 6 or 7 low to mid-level grunts, okay?
Like the moblins.
He goes through 3 weapons in that fight. In fact, using 4 weapons, because he went through 3 and then had to go to use the 4th. And every time your weapon breaks, you have to pause the game, you have to go into your menu and select a new weapon, then go right back into the fighting, which is just completely breaks immersion, just completely takes you out of the action.
Is there a way you can can't you just pick something up from off the ground and immediately use it? Or is it
that I don't know, because I have not played it, but all the clips that I've seen, every time a weapon breaks, you have to go into your menu and
then equip it.
Okay.
That, I agree, is complete bullshit. That is...
even Grand Theft Auto has you push the button down and
you get your next weapon up. I mean, that's almost in every game, you know? In Horizon Zero Dawn, you can use your shoulder buttons to pull up another weapon, but it's not like you pause the game. The game still goes. It kind of puts you in a little bit of a slow-mo thing, but it's such a quick operation.
Right.
Anyway, so I agree that that's a really shitty thing to have in that game. I will still play Breath of the Wild at some point, but I can tell you, like, I know that's going to detract detract from the experience.
Yeah.
So just real quick thing on video game ratings, because it's not the same as, your school grades or even how people will rate movies, which are a lot like school grades. Like, a movie gets a 7, that's a C, Video games, as long as they're like a 5 or above, it's a pretty good video game. It's a decent video game.
It means it has a lot of elements that will be fun,
right,
even if you have to go through bullshit.
And especially when you hit like 7 or above, this is a really good game.
If it's your style of game, you're going to enjoy the game.
Exactly.
So he gave Breath of the Wild a 7 out of 10, which is a good score.
No. This is where the problem comes in.
And the Zelda fanboys, the hardcore ones, they started DDoSing, so it's a directed denial of service on his website.
Why would they?
They started, they started fucking his shit up because he gave it a 7 out of 10.
And that's shocking from like Zelda fanboys of all places.
Their biggest gripe was that it took it on Metacritic from a 98% to a 97. Whoa!
Even though, from what I've gathered and from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it's going to go down in history as one of the greatest games of all time.
It is, but I will also say, every review I've read where it was like a 10 out of 10 or even a 9.5 out of 10, they say this line. It's not perfect, but... Well, then why did you fucking give it a goddamn 10? If it's not perfect, then you're fucking lying to yourself. Yeah. You're saying, well, because I want it to be so fucking good, I'm giving it a 10. But it's not a fucking perfect game.
Yeah, and everybody makes excuses for things that they want to be good.
Yeah,
especially if it's
so they'll be like, "It's fine, it's fine, it's not bad, it's fine."
I mean, I'm sure I'm guilty of it because me, I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy to begin with, and it's like
I am too. I love Zelda.
Exactly. Yeah.
Twilight Princess is one of my favorite games of all time. I loved a lot of the Zelda games up to then, but it's just like, just because we've been waiting for a really great fucking Zelda game for a long time doesn't mean that we have to fucking delude ourselves,
Yeah.
So anyway, that I just had to get that off my chest because I thought that was really shitty.
It dropped one score on Metacritic and they went shit.
And Jim in the video, which I hope we can watch after this, but he says it on Metacritic, something that does not fucking matter. Metacritic doesn't fucking matter. It's nothing. It's just it's a collection of shit.
It's Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's Rotten Tomatoes for everything else. Like, it's
fuck
just. Well, I like Rotten Tomatoes, but
still,
fuck them all to death.
But it doesn't matter. Like, I like those things. I like going to those things to see what things are scored. But it really doesn't fucking matter.
Well,
anyway.
And if you're looking at it that way, no rating system really matters. It's all personal. You're be like, well, they got a 3. Yeah. I'm still going to give it a shot.
The problem is that people look at score aggregating systems and then just use them as a Bible.
Yes. Absolutely.
As opposed to looking at things for themselves in a subjective way. They look at the Metacritic score or the Rotten Tomatoes score and go, "Oh, that's objective. It's a 40."
I really am not. I'm surprised that I have not seen the article that when it dropped from a 98 to a 97, that there weren't just a rash of suicides around the world.
or a change.org petition to shut down Metacritic
and to shut down Jim Sterling for that.
Shut down Jim Sterling. Shut him down.
And I mean,
unless you come on our show,
then you're awesome. But don't bring any of that DDoS shit.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude! Like,
we cannot afford to deal with that.
I mean, there were death threats. There were.
Well, that just comes with the territory. You're on the internet; they're threatening to kill you.
If you're on the internet long enough, someone's going to threaten to kill you.
Someone called him an SJW piece of shit. How do you connect that to a 7 out of 10 on the goddamn Breath of the Wild?
Well, wait, but they didn't call him a beta cuck, libtard, globalist, snowflake?
Yeah, globalist. Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly
and it's beta cuck.
Beta cuck.
Clearly a fucking beta cuck. I mean,
anyway.
Clearly. We're so sorry, Jim Sterling.
No, yeah, I actually I am sorry for, but anyway, so.
Hashtag Jim Sterling is a beta cuck.
Oh my God! Let's please no. I don't want that. I don't want that starting here.
We can bleep that.
Yeah, anyway, no, we're fine. Anyway.
Oh God.
God damn it. But for Horizon Zero Dawn, I can actually say how I would rate the game. I would rate it a 9 out of 10.
Oh wow!
Because it was really good. It was not perfect, but it was really fucking.
So why didn't you give it a 10?
So I ran into 2 glitches.
Okay.
One was I had no problems with the game until there was an update for it, which was interesting. I don't know if it was because of the update or it was because
they patched it and it fucked something up.
So I did a diving roll, and to like get away from an enemy, and went into one of the enemy's like tents, and could not get out. And so I was like, all right, go to last save point.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then the other
I thought
one,
you were going to say you floated into space and then that Shooting Star song came on.
Like you just, I thought you clipped through the floor or something like that.
And thankfully, no.
Okay.
No clipping issues. The other thing was then, also right after that update, there was a cinematic scene where everything went polygon potato vision.
Ooh.
Like, all the details on the faces were gone. They were just like, it was like polygon vision. It was fucking crazy. It was like
That's,
the build, like the
where it's just like the graphics weren't
the pre graphics build or whatever you want to call it. But yeah,
Oof.
for like 5 seconds.
We're talking like polygons or like low poly where it's because something if it's far away in a
like
game,
if you were to
look
look
like
if you were to look at a person's face, it would have like
it looked like PS1.
No, worse than PS1. It was like it looks like giant shapes where their faces were and stuff like. But it was like for 5. It was for 5 seconds.
Thing that happens sometimes in a game where it's further away.
So it was a cutscene.
Oh, it was a cutscene.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain.
Worse.
So it was a cutscene when it happened. And again, it only lasted 5 seconds.
Like a pre-rendered cutscene where did that?
They don't have. So this is one of the great things about Horizon Zero Dawn. There's no pre-rendered cutscenes.
Oh, that's cool.
It's all in game. So I mean, the cutscenes obviously are already programmed.
Right.
But all the cutscenes happen in the game. Like there's no. That's why there's very few loading screens. Everything is in game. I don't know how to describe that.
Kind of like how Half-Life was, where it'll play out whether you're looking at it or not, or is it like?
No, there are actual cutscenes that you don't have control over the character and everything. It's not first person, but it's all using the in-game engine. It's not It's not a pre-rendered.
Yeah, it doesn't separate, but it doesn't take you like it happens in the game.
The character model that's in the game when you're playing it, that's the character model that's in the cutscenes. So it's.
So it actually just leads into a cut. I'm saying like is it playing out like in Half-Life? If you're in a room,
no, there are cutscenes that are done. There's cinematic cutscenes.
Okay, that's what I was.
But
asking.
they're done like they're not.
In the game
they're using the in-game
There's
models
and
everything.
There's not like a loading screen cutscene. Come back to where you were.
And
you walk up on a scene, and then this cutscene happens, and then you continue forward.
Right. But anyway, so those were the only glitches that I had. One of the only things that I didn't like about it is that. So there's a really cool feature that as you go through this story, you gain the ability to take control of the machines, the wild machines that are out there. It's called the Override. And you go through these dungeons called cauldrons, and you earn the ability to override the bigger and badder machines. Right. The basic machines you can do, most of them you can mount. You can use as rides.
Right.
Yeah, giggity. They don't present, so you're taking by force.
Sweet. That's even hotter.
There were only 3 classes of the machines that you could ride, and I wish there were more. And then I also wish that you could ride at least one of the flying machines. Because to be able to fly around would have been awesome. But I get it. I think that's something that they're probably going to put into the sequel, because there is going to be a sequel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Horizon 1 Dawn?
No, and the while the title sounds kind of weird, not knowing, like, in the story it makes complete sense. So it'll probably be Horizon something else. Horizon will be Horizon will be the IP's main title. Amazing game.
Horizon Brunch 1.
Horizon Late Dinner 17.
I could not have foreseen this happening this way. But no, the game is an immense amount of fun. Anyone who has a PS4, I highly recommend it. Beautiful fucking, like, honestly one of the most gorgeous games I've ever seen. Like, people are actually making art out of the sunsets, the moon rises. Like, the level of detail on it is ridiculous. There's a couple things where, like, they'll have some facial animations when people are talking, they don't look quite right, or the lip sync isn't there. But for the most part, looks amazing. That, when the characters are interacting, they look great. The voiceover acting, for the most part, I mean, Ashley Birch knocked it out of the park as Aloy.
Ashley Birch is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's great. She's great in that role.
Aloy, not Alloy.
It's not Alloy, it's Aloy, yeah. Because they didn't want that to be that obvious.
It's clearly there, right.
But there's a lot of characters like that, like her caretaker Aluminium. At the beginning is Rost, not Rust, but Rost, R-A-S-T.
Like
but
illusions.
There's a lot of that.
Little obvious allusions, but not on the nose.
I was surprised how dark the storyline was. It's a really dark storyline from the trailers. It looks the trailers. It looks sunny and bright, and yeah, there's these menacing machines. But I didn't realize how dark the storyline was going. It was a pretty fucking dark storyline, and the world they created was fucking amazing. It takes place a long time in the future, but society has regressed because humanity collapsed.
As it does, as it will,
so it's kind of a primitive lifestyle, but with machines. So we use their parts and stuff, and they made it kind of reminds me of almost Game of Thrones, how they made this whole big tribe called the Karja, and they have this thing called the Sundom, and they praise the sun, and so it's not a kingdom, it's a Sundom, and just their main city, this Meridian city, is fucking on a huge mesa, and it's goddamn gorgeous. And the best part for me, they actually have these priests who every dawn will come out and start singing to the sun. And it's this haunting, gorgeous song of, it's a cappella, so it's just a choir. It's fucking amazing. I love the game, and I highly recommend it.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
and Loish, that's artist I really enjoy. She did I showed you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she did the concept art for a lot of the characters in it.
The art of the game is I'm floored. From and even just playing it today, you'll just see like a sunset or sunrise, or the way that the moon's peeking out over the mountains sometimes, like it's and lights up everything. It's really cool. Really cool.
And hopefully,
immersive.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And hopefully soon we can all get our hands on Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And give you a more accurate,
personal
on that.
I will say,
review, excuse me,
to any butthurt Zelda fanboy out there,
this is Brian talking.
Sorry to break your soul, but Horizon Zero Dawn sold like 2.6 million in the first 2 weeks. Breath of the Wild only sold like maybe 1.8.
Well, they had to buy a whole console to get it.
Yeah, and it actually there are less Switches sold than Breath of the Wild games sold, so that's interesting.
That's
because they bought them and fucking resold them.
That's Nintendo also.
Also collector's editions.
Yeah,
but
that's
Nintendo.
That's just the fucking the market is people just buy shit and then resell immediately.
Yeah,
because they're a bunch of fucking douchebags scalping motherfuckers.
And Nintendo is notorious for making like 4 consoles when it launches.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, don't worry, there'll be more.
Oh, don't worry, Switch.
If you're a Zelda fanboy, fuck it, go. Let's go.
Updating a story that we've talked about 1,000 times on this podcast. They've officially named who is going to play Cable in Deadpool 2.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the director of Batman again.
Wait. We've talked about this before?
Yeah, only on like 7 or 8 episodes.
Wait. Now I know what it was, because we didn't talk about it enough. So we really need to talk about what happened before this moment, before we get to this moment, right? No? Okay.
You didn't want to... I wanted to just...
It's Josh Brolin.
It's Joe Manganiello.
It's Manganiello.
Excuse me. No,
we've gone over that.
It's a different guy.
It's
Josh...
It's mangy,
Josh
mangy
Brolin. Josh Brolin has been cast as Cable in Deadpool 2.
After the
just
epic journey.
The internet naming... You pick an actor. Name an actor right now. He was probably rumored to be Cable.
Ryan Gosling.
Rumored to be Cable.
No, he was not.
Not to mention the fucking trolling by Pierce Brosnan and Ryan Reynolds and them. That was
epic,
expert level trolling.
Yes. Yeah. We went from.
We named at least 10 people here, and we didn't even cover everybody.
And we didn't even cover Brad Pitt and Michael Shannon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say overall, I'm totally fine with Josh Brolin.
Absolutely.
For sure.
He's gonna do a great job.
I saw someone made a mock-up of it's The Last Jedi poster, but it's Deadpool on the bottom, and it's Cable's he's got like the 3 scars that go up like that. Josh Brolin on one side, and I don't remember who was on the other side.
Don't know, probably.
No, it was Ryan Reynolds.
Was it Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah,
okay.
It was Deadpool. It wasn't Ryan Reynolds, but
it was Deadpool.
Yeah,
but I mean, just all the mock-ups. He looks, and he's got that good
He's got that
stare,
gruff. Yeah.
There was I don't know if it was an Instagram or something, but something got released within the past couple of days where he actually showed
he posted a photo of himself getting cast
Oh, I thought
like being physically. They put the latex,
the actual cast,
cast of his face,
right.
so they can make a mold for the makeup for him.
Prosthesis,
So that's. I don't know that there's an actual. Yeah, that the blue. If you find a blue picture of Josh Brolin, that's what's going on there.
Unless it's Thanos.
Because he's also still Thanos
yes.
in the MCU. And
hey, Kevin Feige has said, "I'm fine with it. I'm really happy for him." And
I believe he said, "quote He'll be awesome as Cable."
Yeah,
was his quote.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
When you don't have an exclusive contract, get that fucking money.
Making that paper.
Yeah, I mean, even Ryan Reynolds is like, he can't be both. That's not fair.
Yeah. But if it wasn't in his contract, he could do it.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Shitty Deadpool.
It is what it is.
It's not a shitty Deadpool.
No, he was shitty Deadpool in Wolverine Origins.
Oh,
yeah.
that. Well, technically, he's still...
So, I mean, it's cool.
That's not two different things.
It's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to really play off each other well.
I think so.
Because Josh Brolin's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know it's really not a good movie, but he was funny as shit in Men in Black 3. So.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
He played younger Tommy Lee Jones.
Right. Which,
perfect.
From the trailers, like, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I do
good
know
job.
Because Tommy Lee Jones is funny in his own...
He's the best. He's a perfect
really
straight
great straight man. So, like, Josh Brolin's just going to be great doing that. And, like, his voice is gruff and... it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be real
absolutely.
I cannot wait to see this.
Yeah, and then playing off of Ryan Reynolds, ping-ponging around him. It's like Daffy Duck and fucking Elmer Fudd. Like, it's going to be fun.
Wow.
That's go back to Boomerang.
That's an interesting, but that is an interesting metaphor, and I think that's apt. Yeah. It's definitely an apt metaphor.
But yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to...
No, there's not. It was completely out of fucking left field. Completely like, and again, I'm glad they did, but I absolutely...
When they announced it, we were all like...
fine with...
What?
Yeah.
Well, I like
Is
that.
he still thin?
I thought it was a hoax.
Yeah.
I thought it was a hoax.
I like that we can still be surprised by something nowadays where it's not like...
that might have been the thing.
Surprise really isn't the word.
What is the word?
I kind of saw it coming.
You saw it coming?
No.
Tell me, how did you see it coming?
No, well, I think that might have been their plan, was
after
just
it hit the wall.
front load...
You see it coming? No.
Front load as many actors as you could think of on paper as the production company, and then just have everybody report the shit out of all of them.
Right.
So that way, when you actually name the guy, it's a complete, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
And it worked.
They released production art of Brad Pitt as Cable, and then were like, tee-hee, like a week later.
I still don't know why
it's the most Deadpool thing ever.
Why all the Firefly posters in the goddamn teaser or the short?
Another way to fucking trick you.
Yeah. I guess. That was a great misdirect.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great misdirect.
All of it was misdirects.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Unless they were trying to load those up in hopes of nailing down a thing and then going, see, it made sense, or because it makes him look like a genius either way.
Yeah.
Or when the movie debuts, it's Nathan Fillion playing,
and it was never Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
God damn it!
And he's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
and then he's just like, I'm already Thanos. I can't do that. Like,
What if the movie they just have 7 different actors be Cable?
Oh my god! It's like the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Yeah, not a movie I sat through the entire thing, but I watched the Heath Ledger part. Because
Jesus. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So anyway.
So speaking of universes that don't cross over all the time, but they are now for one or two or three or four, like a 4-parter.
4 movies.
4 movies. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man Homecoming trailer number 2.
Bill Spiderman.
Yeah.
And his homecoming dance.
Sweet. Maybe is that why they're calling it home? Because there's a homecoming dance?
I have to think there's a homecoming dance.
Oh, I thought it was like a jab at Fox, like, yeah, he's back on our side.
No, it absolutely is.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But I absolutely think there's going to be a homecoming dance.
I hope it's like a summer formal.
They've said from the outgo, like, they're pushing the high school line, really.
And then that kid that's friends with him, I don't remember that character's name.
I don't know. I never
who's
caught
he
it.
supposed to
But
be?
he answers. I think he's Miles Morales' friend from the Ultimate Comics.
Oh, okay.
And they re-upped him to
Okay.
To be Peter Parker's friend in high school. But there's going to be a part where they're at the homecoming dance, and that kid's going to pick up the phone and be like, "You know the way you wanted to do superhero movies the entire time? Well, listen to this." You thought you could get Spider-Man right? Marvel Studios had him for 1.5 films. Here it is.
And then he starts to fade out of existence.
The trailer's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. The second I was literally just complaining.
How many times?
Be it a month ago. Yeah. I think it was before Power Rangers that we saw the Spider-Man trailer
again,
and I was like, "When the fuck are they dropping another one?" Because I've seen this entirely too much to the point where I don't want to see it anymore.
Right.
With the fucking heist thing at the beginning.
Right.
Like,
you guys aren't the Avengers.
It became so unfunny at a certain point that I was sick of hearing it. And then
it wasn't. It didn't stop being funny. It just didn't. It stopped being laugh out loud funny.
Right.
Like it was just like okay.
Yeah. And then
I still like seeing it because it's fucking Spider-Man and then Iron Man and Tony and Peter and.
I literally think it was 2 or 3 days after I had complained that they dropped this new one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome, everyone.
Obviously.
Because they heard me at the AMC in Columbia, and they were like, "We got to get a new trailer out for this guy. He's at his wit's end."
He is pissed.
They did not hear us about the Fate of the Furious trailers, though. That's interesting.
No. Well, that grossed a ridiculous amount of money worldwide.
That's fine. So. Guardians 2. That's gonna. It's gonna wipe that out.
Yeah.
That's why I love seeing all the things like Fate of the Furious breaks box office records. Like a week and a half.
Yeah.
1 week and a half, and Guardians is going to
shit
rule
in your
everything.
Mouth.
Yeah.
And in a great way.
Yes.
And now every time we go to the theater, Brian doesn't yell "family" every time the Fate of the Furious trailer comes on.
Thank fucking Christ, because
we're getting way off track.
We're veering.
Spider-Man Homecoming trailer.
Yes.
What did you think of the new trailer?
Wow,
that was good.
I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm very I have not looked forward to a Spider-Man film like this since I left the theater of Spider-Man 2 wanting Spider-Man 3.
Well, that worked out for you.
That didn't work out for anyone. Okay? I'm just saying, when I left the theater...
We are all worse for having seen that film.
Yes, I agree. I award you no points, and my God have mercy on your soul. No, I left the theater of Spider-Man 2 going like, I can't wait, because he's with Mary Jane, and the last scene is just him going off and, with all the helicopters and all
Spider-Man 2 was awesome.
Spider-Man 2 is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, but yes, of course, Spider-Man 3, and then the 2 after that were fucking massive letdowns.
I don't particularly think that Spider-Man 2 holds up.
Fair enough.
But it was good at the time.
You can be wrong about things. That's fine.
I'm wrong all the time, according to Brian.
No, I didn't say you were wrong all the time. I just said you were wrong about that one thing.
I'm saying, if you rewatch it, and I recently, after we did the list, right after we did the lists episode, episode 10, it was on HBO, I guess. It might still be available. Mm-hmm. So I went in and tried to watch it.
Okay.
And I got about halfway through and had to not watch it anymore.
Spider-Man 2?
Yeah. Right. It was... I mean, I loved it when I was younger.
Okay.
And everybody was talking about it with such reverence that I was like, let me watch that fucking movie again. I haven't seen it in a while. And I watched it and I was like, oh, fuck.
Because it's more campy.
Yeah.
Intentionally. Those were campier movies.
Yeah, it was not.
Alfred Molina still great as?
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah. He wasn't the biggest problem that I had rewatching it. But that's neither here nor there.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. That's neither here nor there because we probably have the best Spider-Man
Tom
coming
Holland.
at you.
Yeah, he's looking good and sounding good. And
the illegal drug ferry came at 2:30. You missed it.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
And then kicks their asses.
Yeah,
and it feels like Spider-Man, where he's like talking shit while he's fighting people,
and he's not weeping.
That's what I loved about. That's what
Spider-Man
I loved.
Cries a lot.
That's what I loved about Civil War. It was like immediately when that's fucking Spider-Man. Okay, yeah. He's just making little comments here and there.
He's in the classroom with his friend. And they're watching that fucking Captain America video. And he's
Fitness.
like, I stole his shield.
That
was fucking awesome.
The one trailer when it's like from the point of view where he's wrapping up Giant Man. And he's in class and he's watching himself like, this is like stupid look on his face.
The whole fairy thing, that looks like it's going to be like the Act 1 wrap.
That sequence looks like it's going to be really cool.
That's going to
even though we did see a lot of it.
The end of Act 1.
Yeah.
Like, so the rest of the movie... That's why he's wearing that homemade costume.
Yeah.
It's because Tony literally takes the costume away from him.
I wish they hadn't put that in the trailer, but yeah.
You just kind of see where it's going. I like that.
Well, he's going to get Iron Spider.
I don't know if that's happening.
I don't see how they don't do that at the end.
I understand.
I'm not saying that he uses it. I'm saying it's the end of the movie and Tony gives it to him.
That'll be that post-credits.
The post-credits
is fucking... And, dude, I will...
Mid-credit, because in post-credit will be Guardian. Or, Ragnarok.
That's right.
But yeah. I'm excited to watch that film.
You think they're going to do a Ragnarok credit scene? Like, because they technically did that with Doctor Strange already.
No, yeah, they're...
No, I thought they would.
We're definitely at least getting one. I mean, I think after Guardians, there'll be for sure a Ragnarok one.
I don't know, but I was thinking with Spider-Man that they would probably tease Black Panther.
Could do that
because that's filming right now.
Yeah,
so they could easily do a quick.
That'll be the post second, the second one. The mid credit is always related.
The second
to the film.
post mid credit end scene
when the next
of the credits
when the next movie starts after the credits.
Correct.
Yes.
But no, I Michael Keaton's looking great as Vulture.
Yeah.
And he's got that perfect fucking. You're like, hey, I'm gonna fucking kill you. What's up?
The Shocker showing up for a second looked cool.
I really hope Michael Keaton says at some point, "Do you want to get nuts?"
They could do that, and I'd buy it, and I'd
because that character seems insane.
Yeah,
which is awesome. And they're using tech from the incident. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Avengers situation from the first film. Everybody has gone out and pilfered what was left over before S.H.I.E.L.D. could clean it up.
Right.
And they are using all of that kind of shit. They've worked it out for themselves, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
I think as a weird wrinkle to that universe, it kind of makes sense that there would be dumpster diving hobos.
Yeah. They dealt with that early on. Like that was one of the shorts.
Yes,
and then it was also part of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was dealing with that kind of shit. So.
Yeah, so it's really cool that they've masterfully woven that together.
Yeah.
What would happen?
What is not masterfully woven together?
Oh boy.
Is the fact that they've announced that there's going to be a Venom film from Sony. And it is not necessarily related to anything that we've seen.
And not just a Venom film. A Venom series.
Yeah,
they're gonna have their own little MCU, their VCU, their Venom CU. I think it's a horrible decision. If
let me check my notes here real quick. Dumb. Okay, go on.
Boom, red stamp. Just dumb.
Do I love the character of Venom? Yes. Am I enjoying the current Marvel Now comic book run of Venom? Yes. Do I think he could hold up his own film franchise? Absolutely. Is it a problem that it is not connected to Spider-Man in any way? Horribly thought out decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I'm sorry. Like
and
they might, but you can't. Like you can't do that.
Where is he going to get his Spider-Man like powers?
It doesn't make. The only reason that the symbiote has those powers is because it took over Peter first.
And basically fell in love with him.
Yeah, and it has the ability to remember, as we talked about in the Who Would Win.
Right.
After it takes over a person's body, it remembers things about all of them.
And that's why when he took over...
That's a callback.
You're welcome.
When he took over Eddie Brock, he was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck Spider-Man. It's even harder now.
Yeah.
And Peter Parker. Kick his ass.
I really have wanted to see not just Venom done right, but all the symbiotes, especially Carnage.
Yeah. If they make a Carnage, if they make, instead of calling it the Venom Cinematic Universe,
the SCU,
if they call it the Symbiote Universe, I'm a little bit more in. But without Spider-Man, it doesn't make any sense.
I'm absolutely out without Spider-Man.
It doesn't make sense without Spider-Man, and I'm saying that. I'm just saying if you start promising other symbiotes,
who are you going to have fight them?
It doesn't make sense.
It's just going to be Venom just hanging out,
like it's stupid,
doing his taxes.
If you would like to see Venom go to the fight in his laser Ferrari, or no, in his hover Ferrari in the laser battle, Press A if you'd like to see him balance his checkbook. I don't know what Sony's thinking. Clearly, they've not really gone deep into this. I think this is just the feelers they put out. I don't know if
the tendrils, if you will.
Yes, I don't know if they've hired writers or whatever, but they really need to reconsider not only continuing to have Spider-Man in the MCU past Avengers 4 and the Homecoming sequel, but to have Venom and all the symbiotes in the MCU as well.
What they need to do is pull all of those characters from Amy Pascal's cold, dead hands.
And her dead, lifeless eyes!
Because as much as I thought that Avi... What was that guy's name?
Doll's eyes.
Avi Arad?
Avi Arad, yeah.
As much as he was initially the problem in my head, I think he's no longer involved.
I don't think he's involved either. I think he has executive producer credit on like everything throughout eternity. But
they've somehow pulled his grasp off of it, which is the reason I think this deal got done in the first place.
One of the reasons, I think.
But Amy Pascal seems to be the next huge wall to jump over, or if we could just get the Hulk on it through.
It all comes down to money. If Homecoming does really, really well,
it's going
which
to,
it will. Obviously,
break
everyone's looking forward to it. I don't know if it will.
I'm sure.
I don't know if it will break records. It's going to be very successful. To me, it's like Guardians is going to blow Fate of the Furious, and then Wonder Woman's going to do well. Don't know if it'll be record-setting. Then Spider-Man's going to do well. Don't know if it'll be record-setting. And then it's nothing until Justice League. Justice League's going to do record-setting shit. And then Star Wars is just going to wipe the floor clean with everyone. So, but anyway.
But that happens every year now because Star Wars is going to wipe everyone's ass.
Rogue One didn't do Force Awakens money, but
no, but it
still did
still
well.
Fucking cleaned up.
But Last Jedi is Skywalker Saga, so that's going to be the biggest movie of the year. Anyway, it's all going to come down to money. Spider-Man Homecoming has to make its money first, and then Sony will, of course, reevaluate after that.
Because I can't, dude. Imagine what Marvel could do after Infinity War with Venom.
Yeah.
And then fucking Carnage.
Because that could be...
Because the Homecoming sequel is not going to be until after Avengers 4.
Yeah. It could, he could... Ostensibly, he could be the biggest bad because Thanos is probably not going to be involved anymore?
Probably not. No, I don't think they'll kill off Thanos in Infinity War, but Avengers 4, I think that'll probably be...
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to necessarily kill him off more than it's going to happen like it did in the comic, where he just decides to hang it up and go to his own planet and be a farmer. And he's like, well, shit, I was a fucking douche. Ugh, whoops.
And just fucking grow his own Infinity Stones.
Yeah. But I like Venom could really has the potential to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Carnage more so.
Well, but you need to the start off. So if they could do a whole symbiote,
it's a jumping off point.
Yeah, because you get Captain Marvel and you get Black Panther. Fuck, dude.
It's like the Patty's Pub green egg. It's a jumping off point. Sorry.
Can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
I think it'd be cool. You could even have the Avengers team up against some of the symbiotes.
What if it's all of them?
Yeah.
Fuck. Anti-Venom.
Yeah.
Look,
Toxin.
Toxin,
I think, was stronger than Carnage.
Yes.
I want Spider-Man to go forward, still in the MCU. I want the symbiotes there, and I want the fucking Sinister Six, and I want that all in the MCU. All of it. Now, we've got Vulture, so that's a start.
Mm-hmm.
I want the fucking Sinister Six. Give me the Sinister Six, please. Thank you.
But which incarnate? Doc Ock has to be in it.
Sincerely, Brian.
Who else could they even get Dr. Octopus in the new movie? You think?
In this movie?
No, like
in the future.
MCU,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I guess what stops
as a
really,
character,
again,
he can make sense. You just have to update it. That's all.
It all comes down to what Sony will
allow
to. Agree to. But
if they don't, you need to throw out all of your Sony products and piss on them in a fire.
Well,
to show them that we mean business.
I want Sony burned down. I want his children dead. I want his house burned down the ground. I want to go to the house and piss on the ashes.
Yeah.
Well, also, I'm going to buy a PS4
fucking Amy,
next weekend.
Amy Pascal.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
you,
never,
bitch.
never getting rid of my PS4 though.
Yeah, I'm going to go buy one next weekend.
Yeah. Oh, so just pour money into the company that you want to go under because they're fucking assholes.
It's
sure.
I really
it's
wanna-
an amazing system.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
And
I really want Horizon Zero.
Horizon Zero
You know
Dawn
who's not
is
fucking up? You know who's not fucking up
absolutely
cinematic universes? Microsoft. So fuck you.
No, they're not. Well, they're.
Universes, no, but,
I mean, the Halo movie not getting made.
Yeah, but that's completely different.
And what they did to
Completely different.
What they did to Rare is enough to burn an effigy of Bill Gates on your front lawn.
What? We're not getting another Conquer game. Anyway,
We're not getting.
It's almost as if there's an Armageddon happening.
I'm going to move past that.
Or if we were
no more Bad Fur Days.
If we were more in the Scandinavian area, it'd be more of a Ragnarok.
What was the auto read on that?
Come from under the
good.
ice and snow.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Trailer.
Fucking great.
Trailer number 1.
great trailer.
It was colorful
Yes,
and
okay.
fun and exciting.
Yes.
And in Marvel, apparently, in order to do space properly, you just have to make it the 1970s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it makes
Okay.
sense. It makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. David Bowie was popular in the 70s, so you just do it.
It had
Alien.
Alien came out
before
in
Last
1979.
Jedi. It had the fastest
Yeah.
viewings, fastest to however many viewings it was within 24 hours.
Yeah. It's a fun fucking trailer.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, you start the trailer with Mjolnir being fucking destroyed.
Start the trailer with Thor being dropped
yeah.
as a
Oh,
change.
yeah,
Because
weird.
like, how did I get here?
Yeah, and then
Can you believe this shit?
Gila destroys
Mjolnir.
With one hand.
with one hand,
And
shatters
then-
it to pieces.
Yeah.
And then looks like she just wipes Asgard off the map.
Yeah.
The astral map, I guess.
She's just like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. And then
She was like, "Who was the villain of the last one? What a pussy!"
Yeah, sure. The Dark Elves did some damage. I'm just gonna destroy everything.
And you're dead.
Yeah.
Also, she's super hot.
Kate Blanchett looks awesome as Hela.
Definitely.
She looks.
The antler thing, whatever's going
That's
on.
her.
that's her
That's her
costume.
full.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
her final
Yeah.
form.
Dude, that's fucking.
I didn't know how they would pull that
It's
off.
like it's like when Loki, how he looks with
with the horns
the
and shit.
horns and
Yeah.
the staff that's in Avengers and
Like I didn't know how they were going to pull off her
yeah,
helm.
It's
and
awesome.
And it looks scary as shit,
Yeah.
which it should.
yeah.
And so what was the report?
Also,
was,
I want to bone her,
Oh, she's
but
hot.
she was like, no way.
goth Kate Blanchett, please.
So the report is that she is replacing. Gila is replacing.
So yeah, that
Death.
it's not. We don't know that for certain.
Yeah.
But it seems likely because now in the comics, that's the role Gila has taken.
Oh.
She's now Thanos' main squeeze.
Yeah. Well,
Did Death get with Deadpool?
I don't know. I know that he was trying.
yes, he was.
He was trying to get in that
Oh,
skeletal.
he's trying to get up all up in that.
So
that sweet skeletal poontang.
in Infinity Gauntlet,
Bony.
Thanos is trying to impress the physical incarnation of death,
Yes.
which is taken on as the form as Mistress Death, I believe they call her, Miss Death, whatever. Not
Lady Death.
That's a
Nope.
completely different thing.
I was about to say it.
Yeah.
He saw it in my eyes.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the comic right now.
Yes.
She's a completely different thing. Anyway, so Thanos wants to impress her.
Right. Yeah,
so-
to court her.
Yeah, so to court death, and he says it at the end of Avengers. So hopefully there's payoff on that line.
His administrator, his assistant said that.
Right,
yes.
right. The guy that
But
got
he's
his,
dead now,
got
so.
his neck twisted back by Ronan real easily.
I like how Roman's like, bitch.
I mean, it wasn't really easy.
He literally looked at him and his neck was broken.
It was. He used the power of his hammer, whatever the fuck the hammer is called.
He
But
just was
anyway.
like, "Bah."
Anyway,
Eat that, bitch.
That was it.
got to see the beginnings of Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
Ning,
Dude,
Flavin.
that, like, so the whole trailer's really cool. And then you get a shot of Jeff Goldblum and you're like, oh, shit. And then...
Jeffy G.
And
as
then,
Games Master.
yeah. Who, there's an outside chance in my own headcanon.
Up there it is.
He looks. I know what you're going to say. He does because my headcanon is connected to your headcanon.
So they're the same.
Andrew's is not though.
They have they have similar face paint going on with the
and the hair
and the hair. So I'm thinking that he's perhaps somehow related to Collector
Tivan
of the Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Yeah.
So that'd be really awesome because in a similar way they're doing a kind of a similar thing where the Collector's collecting things from around the universe,
right,
and this guy's collecting warriors,
fighters. Yeah, and they already had the crossover with at the end of Dark World where it was Lady Sif and was it Volstagg?
Yeah.
And they went to the Collector to give him the Aether.
Yeah.
So we know that
the
Asgardians
they exist among each other.
Yeah, well, obviously they're the MCU, so they've interacted.
They're close enough.
The Asgardians interact with these
places. Rainbow Road and go down there.
Heimdall looked badass.
Yeah. Like really badass.
Hope Idris Elba doesn't complain about this fucking movie.
Cry about it, you fucking millionaire. You fucking retard. God damn it.
But his character looks cool.
Yes.
He does.
Yeah. All of it.
Yeah. So
all the ships. Like
there was my first
Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie.
Yes.
Yes,
awesome.
please.
One of my very first takes coming out of watching that trailer for the first or second time was that Guardians of the Galaxy, being one of the best things that happened to the MCU, obviously, because it opened it up and kind of expanded everything, is the greatest thing to happen to the Thor franchise.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because the Thor movies prior to Guardians of the Galaxy were a little darker. They were fun, but they weren't fun-loving.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
We get to this trailer,
Dark
and
World,
holy shit.
Dark World opened it up a little more, that we would go into other... They went to other planets and stuff, but, absolutely.
Guardians is the best thing that happened to Thor. Because now it's like...
You get into all the shit crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's allowed to be fun.
Yeah.
You know, like at first it took itself very seriously. And the second one, it was kind of also serious, but it was a little more jokey. And then once you get here, it's like, all fun all the time.
Yeah.
We're having a rip-roaring time in the Armageddon of our people. Which I don't know if the message gets lost there, but it's still cool. It looks great.
A rumor that I had heard a while ago, because part of Ragnarok has to do with the Serpent of Midgard.
Yes.
And that was going to involve Earth somehow, and that in the Phase 1 movies, Tonsberg, Norway, was a site of a lot of stuff. It was in the first Thor movie.
Yes.
It was in Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yes, that was one of the first shots in Captain America: The First Avenger was the tree with the serpent and the whole. And everybody's like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
And that hopefully that would be paid off with this movie, that the serpent is on Earth, and that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that will happen. I don't know if maybe that's how he has to get Hulk involved and gets back to Earth that way. That'll be cool to see. But just from this trailer, I'm just like, even if that doesn't happen, I'm like, I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of that movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man.
And of course, everybody's favorite scene at the end when Hulk busts out and he's just like, yeah!
And it shuts the entire crowd up.
I know him from work!
I know him from work. That's the best fucking line.
Because they've kept the Thor as a kind of a bumbling moron, sort of.
He's just naive.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And I love that we're seeing Loki's definitely in it, which is interesting. How they left off with Dark World. I don't know, because he was posing as Odin. We don't know where Odin is. We don't know if it's just going to be like the movie opens with Hela attacks and Loki's like, oh shit, I can't be Odin anymore. All right,
plot thread abandoned.
What I was wondering about Infinity War, and I don't know if it's going to actually happen, is that in Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos has his right-hand man, I believe it's Mephisto, kind of leading him to his doom, giving him bad advice.
Oh.
And Thanos is taking the bad advice and putting it to work. He's like, well, he's the one that convinces Thanos to, why don't you kill half the population right off the bat?
I mean, he's the devil.
Right.
Yeah.
So the idea is that he's on his shoulder giving him bad advice. I don't think Mephisto's going to be in Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity War. So
evidently Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with their Ghost Rider that they had the first half of their season, Mephisto's name got dropped at some point. I didn't see the episode, but I think it was the last episode they had with the Ghost Rider that Mephisto's name got dropped. So he exists in the MCU.
No shit. Okay.
So it's entirely possible that they could, with this movie, or not with this movie, but with Infinity War coming up, they could.
Well, prior to having that knowledge, I was like, I wonder if they're going to give Loki that role,
right?
Because it would make the most sense in my head.
Because Loki and Thanos already have the connection from Avengers.
And everybody will go, I remember, they were right. Cool.
Yeah, we're right there with you.
I watch all these fucking movies. I'm a casual fan.
Now I can hold out hope that Silver Surfer may just...
Well, don't hold your breath too long, Andrew. We'd like to have you along for the ride here.
He's not going to.
That's Fantastic Four.
I know.
So real quick. So there was news that Kevin Feige said, there's probably not going to be a Phase 4. We're just going to keep making movies and not really have these phases after the Avengers 4. He's like, Avengers 4 is going to change a lot of things. He didn't say, of course,
we don't need to be a team anymore.
Well,
we should be a team again.
We're not a team. We're a time bomb. No,
we'll have West Coast Avengers with Hawkeye and Unbeatable Squirrel Girl and
Great Lakes Avengers.
That's what Great Lakes Avengers. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so.
Oh, fuck! I'd totally watch that. Are you kidding? Have Deadpool in there? Yeah, why not?
Someone I saw online said, how great would it be if they did call it Phase 4 and it just was like the big Fantastic Four for Phase 4, just to introduce the Fantastic Four that way. And I was like, wow, that would be great. Never going to happen. Sorry, Andrew.
Never going to happen.
Sorry, Andrew.
I know. I just want the Silver Surfer.
It sucks because Fantastic Four was like the book for Marvel to get that all rolling.
The first family. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they were great.
And they've just been
Dr. Doom.
Piss poor. Fucking,
one of the greatest villains in comic books.
Dr. Doom has a great run with fucking Black Panther. They go against each other in a huge way. It's never going to happen.
I look at Age of Ultron and I love that movie, but Sokovia absolutely should have been Latveria.
Yeah,
that should have been Latveria, and it
probably
pisses me off that we
is a whole. It was essentially it was,
but it wasn't
because it couldn't.
It was because there's no fucking Dr. Doom.
Right.
Damn it.
And the term Latveria belongs with Fox.
Dr. Doom and Fox.
Yeah, because they're handling things so well. Anyway,
dumb.
Gay.
So Gila replacing Death and Thor Ragnarok looked fucking sweet.
Looking fine.
You know what else looks sweet?
Fucking sweet.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, it does.
Looks fucking sweet.
Fucking gay. Sorry.
No, the other.
Oh, sorry. Sweet.
Guys, gay is not bad, okay?
Right.
Stop it. Yeah. God, triggering me.
Triggering
Slap my thighs.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, that trailer, I honestly, with what we'll talk about in just a second, The Last Jedi trailer dropping, I completely forgotten that at this Star Wars celebration that there was probably going to be Battlefront 2 news, and that was huge when it dropped. I was like, oh shit, really? Okay.
And then they got a trailer. And they put a trailer.
Well, that was the news, but and the news from the trailer is that we've got a fucking single player campaign.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely the one thing that was missing from Battlefront, because everything was in that game except for single player.
That was so strange to me that they didn't put that in.
What they went with as a operating philosophy was that everybody just plays multiplayer online.
Well, it's like going back to a weird arcade kind of mentality where it's just like, fuck it. People are they're going to play with each other.
They know that everybody signs up to just play against each other. So they knew that they were going to have to do that, and everybody was going to do that all the time. So they sunk all of their time into creating those game modes. And they're cool.
Yeah.
They are cool. I mean, it's a fun game.
Being someone who plays Battlefront, but when I got it, I got the Ultimate Edition that was like 2/3 the price of the original. It had all the content, so I'm sitting in the catbird seat. I'm like, I've got everything, and I paid less than what everyone else did. So I get it when people got the original game, and it just had what came on the game and didn't have any of the DLC, and you had to pay extra for the season pass.
Well, that's with every game, dude.
But that game, when Battlefront released, epitomized everything wrong with that system.
Yeah.
And EA got raked over the coals for it, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And they learned.
But it's not a system that they fucking invented.
It's not, but they fucking made the worst out of it because You know,
it's $30 additional to get all of those packs.
Exactly, and you wait for you wait for the free weekends, and you pre-ordered, so like that's fucked up.
But I pre-ordered it, and I didn't even get my poster from GameStop. Those motherfuckers.
Hashtag GameStop those motherfuckers. No,
yeah, hashtag GameStop those motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're closing a bunch of their stores. They got fucked.
They're gonna give me $30 for a PS3.
Whoa, are you telling me that the used game market is going down?
Well, the fact that they were pushing it so fucking hard.
Yeah,
they had third largest book retailer in the country initiatives.
Look, having worked for GameStop, I can tell you it is one of the worst companies in the fucking world.
I can imagine.
And it is was not a sustainable fucking system. You know, oh yeah, sure. These games we'll bring you. Yeah, we'll give you for these 5 games, we'll give
75 cents a piece.
We'll give you $5
if you're lucky,
and then we're going to resell them
for $15 to $18.
Totally.
I just called today and trying to get a PS4, and they said trade up with a PS3. And a good friend of mine, he gave me his PS3 and trade up because he doesn't use it. I'm like, oh, so I have a PS3, I have an unopened controller, I have a controller, I have the power cord, I have an HDMI, I have the connector for it. He's like,
you get $5.
And Rick Harrison was like, the best I could do is $25.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
No, 25 really?
Well, it was like, is it the slim or is it kind of the fatter one without the tray? I'm like, it's not the tray. It's it's the bigger one. It depends on the storage capacity. He's like, if it was a slim, you could do like 40 to 30. Otherwise, it might be less. I'm like, that's getting traded in towards a PS4. This entire system.
Can you spit on it before you fucking?
Yeah, because don't use lube. Use spit. Yeah, that's what you want.
Find me dinner first, at least. Jesus.
No reach around for you.
Because I like to get good and fucked before I go into the GameStop.
So back to So back to Battlefield. Like, I get it. I get the complaints about the first game. EA heard it. There's not going to be a season pass for Battlefront 2. No season pass.
It's all in there. It's going to be $80.
Well, there's still going to be
It's going to be $60, but it's going to be a complete game, is what they're saying.
So it's
whether that's a completely finished game, or
so what they're going to do is they're going
free DLC as it goes on.
What they're going to do.
That's what Resident Evil 7's doing.
What they're going to do is they're going to have 4 additional map packs loaded into the game along with the regular stuff, just like it looks now, and then they're going to release DLC that you don't need. It's not part of we gave you the 4. You don't need it, but it's additional and you could buy it extra.
I don't know. Because that does come off at like a season pass. So I don't know.
They're not going to be a season pass. It's just going to be $5.99 for each of those packs.
Right. I get what you're saying. And they could do that. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
The problem is that people keep buying that, and it's a self-fulfilling fucking cycle.
But it's how hard is it to be like, wow, look at all these 20 new characters and levels and weapons. I'm not going to get that, I guess. And then you're like, well, fuck it. They got me by the balls. Of course I'm going to buy it.
Boy, they really got my balls in a vice grip.
You're breaking my ball, GameStop. You're breaking my balls.
Yeah, come on.
The breadth,
video game industry.
The breadth of what the game is going to cover.
The breadth of the wild.
I'm excited. I want to play it. Sorry, what?
The swath that is going to be covered by Battlefront, it makes me think that, yes, it's going to be a fucking complete game. That there might be some DLC that, I don't know if it'll be pay for it or not, but it's going to cover the entire fucking 9 movie saga. Because it's going to be the prequels, Rogue One, the original trilogy, and
you'll get the
Force Awakens,
roadmap,
Force Awakens, Battlefront 2, Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's going to cover all fucking 9 movies.
Because it's going to release just before Last Jedi, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you pre-order it, you get the Last Jedi characters in their Last Jedi outfits and looks and everything.
Gotcha.
That's cool. So we get Old Man Luke.
Yeah, I would think
That's
so.
Awesome.
Obi-Wan Kaluki.
Off by one Kenobi.
Hashtag Obi.
We don't
Kenobi.
The single player story looks awesome. It's mostly from the Imperial standpoint as
I was just doing my job.
As Return of the Jedi, as the Battle of Endor ends, and then goes into the 30-year period between that and Force Awakens, and leads into Force Awakens and then Last Jedi. Like, it's gonna be fucking great.
It's all canon.
Can't wait.
Too,
and
right?
it is all canon. Yeah.
These characters existed among the living.
Ford's.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we're finally going to get, because I know that you do get to play as Luke at least one mission.
Yeah.
And there are other characters other than the Stormtrooper commander that they showed in the trailer, who we get to see she, is that age, and then we'll see her 30 years older,
Yeah.
Because
Maybe
she's
as Phasma.
clearly part of the First Order. I don't think she's Phasma, but
So outside theory from that was friend of the podcast, Paul.
yes,
Who we've had on as a guest.
Shout out to Paul. You're
Shout
a
out
good
to
guy.
Paul.
I'm drunk.
He gets very drunk sometimes.
He had posited a theory after we watched the Battlefront 2 trailer that the main character of the story mode is eventually Captain Phasma from Episode 7. Don't know for sure.
Very cool theory.
Yeah.
Very
Plausible.
possible. Absolutely.
I feel like that would put Phasma in her 50s or 60s, though. If it's
Absolutely, it would.
But she was also overtaken really easily in Force Awakens. So.
Yeah. Well, let's anyway. I
Just
don't think it is
saying.
because Gwendolyn Christie is very tall, and Phasma therefore is very tall, and that character didn't look very tall.
You're right.
Didn't look the similar build. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, but I don't think it is. And also, they've named the character. I can't remember what the character's name is, but it's not Phasma. So
right.
Again, things can
Phasma.
change. They can morph that into what they want.
Yeah.
But the voice, it wasn't Gwendolyn Christie, and I feel like they're sticklers for that kind of thing. They went back and fucking digitally altered Boba Fett's voice so that it's the goddamn guy who was the clones in Attack of the Clones. Sorry, that was my disgust at that. Anyway,
Jango Fett.
What's all this then?
that's for true.
I don't know why it's Michael Caine all of a sudden.
I'm not going to bury any more Batman.
Not going to bury any more Boba Fetts.
No, can't do.
You speak the true.
So I'm really looking forward to it. The fact that we're going to have some of that 30-year period finally filled in is going to be really cool.
That is really cool.
Because the comics are cool, but they don't necessarily do it all for me.
What I'm really hoping is that what we'll get is some flashbacks in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
For which we got a teaser.
Yeah.
A
teaser of all teasers.
That just fucking...
It is almost shot for shot the exact same thing as the teaser for Force
Awakens.
It
is.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And that is entirely by design.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
If you can look it up, someone made a cut of both of the trailers
side by
playing
side. It's amazing.
simultaneously.
I didn't think it was...
The whole time I'm like,
I didn't think it was shot for shot. Because the one that got me where I was like, oh, there's a similarity is when you see these new, whatever they're, land speeders or whatever, going across the desert with the red dust coming up. Like, that looked like the X-Wings.
Yeah.
But then once someone said, no, it's shot for shot, and then I started thinking, I'm like, oh, shit, it is.
Yeah.
Because,
The island.
He wakes up.
Well, Finn comes up out of the desert, and she,
wakes from her Force dream.
Yeah.
There's one spot where it's like something happened in the original one, and then it's like Rey falling on the ground. There's a few things that don't totally match up.
I mean, we're saying shot for shot. It's not literally shot for shot, but it's very close.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's hardly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I posted about it on Facebook. I'll say it again here. So when I saw the first Force Awakens trailer, I was like, my mouth was open because it's that shot agape because it's the shot of the Millennium Falcon at the end where it's just like and the music's playing, you're just like and then the second trailer was when you really saw Han talk and everything, and
it's all true.
Yeah, and that the music kicks in, and that's when I was actually like tearing up. I was getting emotional about a fucking trailer. This teaser, goosebumps.
Yeah,
the entire fucking time. You see the starfield, and then you see the starfield turn into the rocks. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? And then it's her gasping for air. I'm like, oh, and then you hear Luke talk, and it's like, oh, and then you see
the biggest takeaway from this whole teaser is the whispering and the rumors about the whispering and who's doing the whispering.
Background?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And what the whispering is and what it means and all this other stuff.
Well, because we still don't know. I mean, like
my uncle spent 24 hours
watching it
over and over, headphones, studio quality headphones because he's a guitarist, like as loud as possible to pull out what it is. And it's the first one is I think we all agreed was clearly Leia, saying something. I forget, it was like something
I did not notice the whispering.
Really?
I've heard it mentioned, but I have not heard it.
No shit.
So this is
So
please inform me.
It looks like very similar to the Force stream that Rey has in Episode 7.
And that's what I was going to say, because we still don't know exactly
what that means.
We know that Ewan McGregor recorded something as Obi-Wan for that, and that there was Yoda in there too. But
they overlaid all three of them saying the same word,
right?
Which was Rey,
right,
in the movie,
right.
But for this, the very first thing is you get Luke says the light, and then Leia says something, and it's a clip of her saying "only hope" or something like that, and then you get the dark, and then you get the breathing, and it's really, really difficult to make out what's going on because it sounds like Obi-Wan at the beginning, but then there's also the Emperor in there. So Obi-Wan says something, and then it transitions into it. So it's like Obi-Wan says something about never turning to, then the Emperor's like dark side,
Okay, so I remember hearing. I now remember hearing dark side. It's when you see Kylo's destroyed mask on the ground. Okay.
Yes. And then the next thing, and then the other thing is
something complete.
Whatever the third thing was, the dark, the light, and the balance. I think he says, or something like that. Yeah. And that's where it looks. I couldn't tell I still can't tell what the shot is of. If it's like books on a shelf.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like
because I don't know what the perspective is.
It looks like there's roots. It looks like they're tree roots almost.
I don't know if I'm looking down into something or at something directly.
Yeah.
I don't know what perspective it is.
I don't know.
So that's where I get fucked up because I'm like more paying attention to what am I seeing.
Right.
Yeah. But
with that shaft of light.
It's so difficult to make out, but everybody on the internet at least has agreed that it's Yoda saying something. The balance. And then you see that Jedi logo thing on the pad or whatever that means. Yeah. So the whispering is the thing that everybody's trying to parse through because they think it has some sort of hidden fucking... Somebody says something that gives you the whole movie, and we have to find it out and then complain that it was ruined. Because Star Wars fans are like that.
Just people.
Well, we gotta find out and then complain that it fucking got ruined. I don't want any secrets, but I'm also going to complain that there were no secrets. But that's the biggest takeaway from that.
I'm going to have to go back and watch it and listen now.
My uncle literally spent 24 hours from when it was released to the next day when we were all sitting here watching them, and he hears the whispering. Yeah.
Whispering.
But otherwise, the trailer obviously is beautiful.
Oh my God.
Luke Skywalker saying some sort of harrowing words that are being probably completely taken out of context.
Of course they are. No, of course. Someone said online, I think it's great, this is the trailer equivalent of clickbait.
Yeah.
It's like, what? He said they're going to end the Jedi. What? Like... Yeah.
Everybody, when you hear him say it at first, it almost sounds like he's like, if I have to fucking do it myself. And then he kills himself.
That being said, the seeds they laid in Force Awakens.
Ooh. Yeah. Tell us about the seeds.
Once it hit the wall, then...
God damn it. It is the seeds. Yeah, it's nothing but seeds.
The seed is strong. No, that's Game of Thrones. What they started in Force Awakens, with Luke being in exile, because everything went to shit.
Yeah,
which I don't like that. I wish they had done the whole Jedi Praxium that he actually had mostly success with his Jedi. Yeah, a few Dark Jedi here and there, but anyway, what they've started with Force Awakens, I can see that. I can see him saying, everything that happened in the prequels, the Jedi kind of fucked that up, and I fucked it up, and let's just end the Jedi. I could see that.
Yeah.
I won't like it, but I could see it. But here's hoping that it is just the hugest fucking misdirect.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I believe that the title is singular.
Well, Rian Johnson has said that. He said that Luke is the last Jedi. That's it. That's what the titles are. Now, that doesn't mean that he can't restart the Jedi again. Right. He just right now he's the last Jedi. He's the only one.
And I'm glad that he went out of his way to clear that up. And I'm assuming that was out over the weekend, last weekend.
That was it last weekend?
The Star Wars Celebration.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, it was at Star Wars Celebration. Yeah.
So I'm glad that he went out of his way to clear that up because I literally watched Force Awakens very recently, and it is in the opening crawl. They are looking for the last Jedi, Luke Skywalker. Period. So when everybody was like, "What does it mean?" I was like, "I don't know. Have you watched a film?"
But all the foreign titles are plural. No, I'm not
because they don't know English.
I'm just saying that was anyway.
No, and I understand that Jedi is obviously singular or plural depending on how you use it in context.
Right.
But I'm glad that he was like, "Here's the context. Right. Stop talking about it." There's plenty more to parse from this. Nobody's complaining about Finn being in a tube. Nobody's wondering about that.
You know what they are complaining about? What are the so-called Scargate? Have you heard of this?
Yes.
Oh yeah. That Rian Johnson changed Kylo's Scar. Yeah.
Well,
because it's over his eye now as opposed to between them.
People gotta complain about shit, man. Yeah. They have to have something to make.
I'm more upset that he's not wearing that fucking awesome helmet anymore.
Yeah, now we gotta look at fucking what's his face.
I don't want to see his fucking stupid face.
Yeah, he's not scary without the mask.
So
anyway,
completely just sidetracked what I was gonna say. That's okay.
I want to see his fucking mask. Fuck his stupid face.
Mask got destroyed.
I'm aware. So, okay. Make a new fucking. You made that one.
Yeah, but he doesn't need it now.
Yes, he does. Because now I gotta instead of him kind of looking like a Sith elephant, I've got to look at his big beak. They're changing animals on me.
And I don't know. I think they should have fucked his face up more. Because now the scar is just like a little scar above the eye. It should have been the one between the eyes where it's all fucked up.
Well, they wanted to make it nice and easy for the prosthetic to just be like, all right.
So, on the other side of how the internet can be completely obsessive, there's a language within Star Wars called Aurebesh. Mm-hmm. That's all the little symbols you'll see at all the Imperial facilities and shit like that. So, Finn's stasis pod, I guess, Aurebesh is on it, and someone was just like,
people obviously speak it.
Yeah. So. Someone at one of the reporters at Celebration, she was like, "All right, I'm gonna fucking do this," and so
she translated it.
It's just ASDGEF, like it's
doesn't
just
mean anything.
Yeah, it's just they were just trolling. But there is one thing that said that like his condition is stable, so good. So Finn's stable. I'm so happy,
bitch.
As if one of the major new characters was not going to be in stable condition.
Poe Dameron was supposed to die, and they were like, "No, we like that fucking guy." Like he was pretty sweet when he came on early on. So
he is so charming.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac, man, we're gonna keep him around.
What part am I talking into?
I'm excited to see all of them come back. Maybe they'll kill him off this one, but he's like in my when you try to figure out who's the puzzle pieces of who's who, because everybody does that. Everybody's like, well, who's the Luke? And who's the Leia?
Right.
And who's the Han?
Right.
Poe Dameron's kind of the Han.
Kind of.
Even though he's more involved with the Resistance than anybody else.
But I think, unlike Harrison Ford, Oscar Isaac is going to be okay with being Poe Dameron for a
forever.
while.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Please don't kill my character off.
Yeah.
I like that we got to see off in the distance the new walkers. I can't wait to see how they're going to look. How they're going to look up close. Cause
initially, dude, I forget who said it. They didn't even see them. They weren't even looking out that far on the horizon.
What? They're fucking right there!
On my incredibly sized television, everybody was looking at the ships. Nobody looked at the... So I was like, no, wait, we got to watch it. So we watched it again. And I was like, look at the fucking horizon when they're going out. And then you see
big.
There's a lot of them. And there's like 20 of them.
They're clearly bigger than the AT-ATs.
Yeah.
So it's like, the rumor...
They were like, holy shit. The more you look at that shot, the more of them you see. It's like a fucking zombie fog.
The rumor is that they're called ATHTs, heavy transports.
Ooh.
And that they have kind of a gorilla-like design.
Okay, as opposed to the elephant situation of the original
animal thing.
Dinosaur, whatever you want to call it.
It was elephants. They designed them walking after elephants.
Well, walking, but they looked more like dinosaurs.
Camels.
Camelsaurus. But it made me immediately think of the what's the comic? We Stand on Guard.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they had gorilla mechs in that. I'm like, oh, how? I wonder who on the ILM staff, was like, hey,
it's Star Wars. Nobody's gonna sue us. We've got Disney.
Still, I can't wait to see them and wait,
Mickey
and
Mouse
that
after your asses.
and that will be a very interesting. That'll be a very interesting battle. Because I love that they explain that the planet, that whatever that new planet is, that it's a salt. It's not. Well, it is an assault, but there's salt on top of the red rock, which is why it looks white, and then there's red plumes coming off. Like, that's so fucking cool.
That is going to be awesome to play at in Battlefront.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, everything's getting red.
Metal.
So, yeah, I'm psyched. I'm completely back in. Even though Force Awakens was a little disappointing to me, I'm completely back into it.
Yeah, because the Star Wars is like that.
I have faith that this is going to be a better movie than that. Rian Johnson, I loved Looper. I think he's a really competent, capable director who can handle some really heavy shit. So
because he's doing these next two, right?
No, just this. Colin Trevorrow, who directed Jurassic World, he's doing Episode 9.
My fault.
No,
I remember initially he was talking about two of them, and he might be writing.
He is.
He's writing
Rian
both.
Johnson's writing both.
Okay.
Yes.
I knew he was attached to both of them somehow.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
which is cool.
Just glad JJ didn't get his because JJ was saying like, "Oh, now I wish I had directed all three." I'm like, "No, you got one. That's it. You just get one."
Enough childhood wonder
everybody
from
gets
you,
one.
JJ. God damn it!
God damn it!
Everybody gets one.
So yeah.
Well, now that we're moving past that,
as Don Geis taught us the abrupt conversational segue.
Now comes the time of the podcast when I must ask the all-important question,
the importantest,
the most importantest thing
that you will thought about today.
The VIP of questions.
Ooh, I like that. Who would win?
The VIQ.
The VIQ. Very important question. Anyway, we got a
important Quizblord.
We got a doozy for you this week, folks.
Why do you keep calling?
Because
every time you do that,
because
you're
it's
like
a bit.
Subverting the idea.
Because it's a bit.
We've got a real newsy this week, guys.
There we go.
Shut up.
We got a fine one this week.
We've got a real Uzi.
Ew.
UZI, the gun.
Okay.
God damn.
Oh, I thought it was oozing.
Yeah, we both
Well,
went
it could be
through
that too.
Up against the wall.
Yeah.
A lot of jizz on the wall in this episode.
I don't like it.
All from me.
Anywho.
Buckets.
Prodigious.
So.
Prodigious amounts.
This week we have...
SAT words.
Nice.
Who is it, Andrew?
In keeping with the theme of this episode, we're going to have...
Sandman and... No.
No. But that'll be another one because that's a good one. We have Cable versus Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. It's Cable versus Hal Jordan in a fight to the death, presumably. Brian.
I love Cable, but I gotta give it to Green Lantern. Green Lantern just has so much fucking power.
Yeah.
He can go toe-to-toe with Superman.
And lose. But
he can still
He can
fight.
still do it.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I could go toe to toe with Superman for like exactly one half of a second, and before I'm completely annihilated into the sun.
He'd do it to you.
He don't you think he wouldn't?
So you're going Green Lantern?
I am. I'm going Green Lantern.
Because of the power.
He can, especially if it's Hal Jordan. I mean, he was the OG. You know,
the Green Lantern.
The Green Lantern. Yeah, I think he does it. So,
Rob,
yeah, Green Lantern, because
it's really not that much of a doozy.
No, so the reason is that they're clearly both the enhanced superhuman speed, strength, agility, durability. That's just a wash for everyone,
right?
And then beyond that, Cable has that super dope arm.
Well, that techno-organic virus.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Cable is he is essentially one of, if not arguably, the most powerful telepath and telekinetic mutant there is. When he held up the entire island of Providence or something like that. Like, he can lift an island with his mind while he's still controlling.
Yeah.
At least I know that's how the story used to be. I don't know if they're still going with he's keeping the techno-organic virus at bay, so that kind of cuts his power.
Right.
But I mean, even with those feats, I gotta go with Hal, man.
Yeah.
He, especially, I don't know. I mean, I guess we're not counting parallax or anything like that, but the fact that his power is so immense with his
anything you can think of, he could just do. He
He
wills it into being.
He rebuilt all of Coast City with the power of his ring.
Yeah.
And was just like, there's people like, oh, cool. And then he went fucking nuts and murdered everybody with a fear demon. Fear
Whoops.
entity.
Whoops.
Embarrassing.
Now,
But the fact that he can even do that.
yeah. Now, while I don't think it's a stomp, I'm going to give it to Hal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's...
I do think it's a stomp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see Cable holding his own to a character like that strong.
Fair. I mean, I feel like his telekinesis could at least negate some of his constructs to an extent, but then Hal's just going to be like, overdrive.
Okay, stronger constructs.
Yes.
Apparently, we needed to will that into being stronger.
But
Done.
he could also read his mind.
True.
But all he's going to hear is dun, 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 dun.
Because Green Lantern would also think the Thor Ragnarok trailer was awesome.
Yes.
So that's 3-0 for Green Lantern versus Cable.
And of course, we know that Jordan would go with Deathstroke.
Jordan would go with
Jordan
the Falcons.
Jordan and I talked about it. He clearly said that he was going to go with
Green Lantern.
and that's that.
Yeah. And I mean, I could not agree more with him, or maybe
Disagree.
I disagree. We'll find
him.
out soon. I mean, I just completely
I respect his opinion.
with Jordan. Yeah.
Respect his opinion.
In his choice of
Green Lantern.
Over
Cable.
in the winner of this, who would win? What do you think, Brian? Have fun editing that, Rob.
Oh my god.
I think I might just leave him blank. I might just leave him blank.
Use your imagination.
Fuck.
Well, we have to.
What? We have to what?
We all got to get out of here now, really quickly.
Yeah.
And we got to run, and our feet are going to keep moving in the air for a little while. And then we'll all get out of here.
Zoinks!
So, signing off for episode.
We all have giant sandwiches to eat.
And I'm going to fold them together like a stack of playing cards.
Oh my
I have
god.
my
that's
pepperoni
great.
here, and I have my bread here, and I'm going to and have a sandwich made.
He did just eat a straight up pepperoni sandwich.
Yeah,
There's
he
nothing
did.
on that.
That poor bastard's stomach. Iron kettle. So signing off for episode 17 of Pop Culture Shock Headcannon. I'm Robert.
I'm Brian.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Jordan. And
David
this was
Falcons.
episode 17. Let us know what you thought of this, and also with the things and stuff.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And things.
Come from the land of the ice and snow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ah!
So that is episode 17. How did we do? Who do you think would win, Green Lantern or Cable? Let us know. How about that Star Wars Last Jedi teaser? Some incredible stuff, right? Did you hear the whispering? Who do you think it was? Do you like Battlefront? Can't wait for Battlefront 2's single-player campaign? Could the main character be Captain Phasma? How great was the Thor Ragnarok trailer? Do you like the vibe they're putting out there? Do you agree that Guardians of the Galaxy was the best thing to happen to the Thor franchise? Do you like the plan to use Gila as the replacement for Death in the MCU? Are you excited at all for Sony creating a standalone Venom film, or is it a bad idea? How exciting was that Spiderman Homecoming trailer? Has Tom Holland become number one in your heart too? Do you like the choice of Josh Brolin for Cable? Would you have preferred it be any of the 75 other actors the internet desperately tried to tie to the film? Have you ever played Horizon Zero Dawn or Zelda Breath of the Wild? What's your take on them? Do you hate the score aggregating websites as much as I do? Are you interested in the Boomerang streaming app? Which of those classic cartoons was your favorite? $4.99 a month is not bad for all of that, right? Are you currently gathering $100,000 to get the hell off this planet for a while? What are your thoughts on SpaceX? let us know. You can get in touch with us in a multitude of ways. Firstly, like this video and subscribe on our YouTube page, Pop Culture Shock Headcannon. You could also like our page on Facebook, Pop Culture Shock Headcannon, and if you prefer the Twitterverse, you can follow us there at PCS Headcannon. And if you don't like any of those and would prefer to respond in long-form prose, you can email us, popcultureshock@gmail.com. We want to hear from you on any or all of the social medias. And if by some weird cosmic circumstance you enjoy any of us for some reason, we can be followed individually. You can follow me, Robert, on Twitter at YesBall. Jordan can be followed on Twitter and Instagram at Alex Shepard. Andrew is on Twitter at flavored_red and Instagram at skeleton_city_comics. And you can't follow Brian this week. You were going to, but your van broke down outside this spooky mansion, and you and your friends go inside looking for help. You then discover you're being followed by some legendary ghoul. He nearly gets you, but your bumbling idiot friend accidentally knocks the ghoul down a spiral staircase when you realize the ghoul is wearing a rubber mask, and with the help of the local police force and the Harlem Globetrotters, you pull the mask off only to see revealed Brian. He followed you this week. Stay tuned for more episodes and likely some major announcements regarding us this summer.